In the quiet village of Okin, Kogi State, Nigeria, the sun was just rising over the dusty roads when Tond, a young manservant, knelt before Chief Emeka Okonkwo. The billionaire stood in the grand hallway of his sprawling compound, adjusting his abode and clutching his car keys. He was late for a critical business meeting in Abuja, one that could secure a multi-billion naira oil deal. But Tond, trembling, blocked his path. "Sir, please, don't go today," Tond pleaded, his voice barely above a whisper. His eyes were wide, his hands clasped tightly. "I saw something in my dream. You were in that same suit, driving your black Range Rover. There was fire, screams, and you didn't come back." Emeka froze, his fingers pausing on his gold wristwatch. "What nonsense is this, Tond?" he asked, his tone sharp but curious. "It's not nonsense, sir," Tond said, his voice cracking. "I saw blood. I saw people crying your name. Please, don't go." The air grew heavy. Emeka's phone buzzed, his business partner, Chidi, calling again. The meeting was critical, but Tond's fear was unsettling. The boy wasn't prone to drama. He was quiet, efficient, the kind of servant who faded into the background. Yet here he was, risking everything to stop his master. Footsteps interrupted the moment. Amara, Emeka's wife, descended the staircase, her silk wrapper tied elegantly, her face immaculate with makeup. "What's going on?" she asked, eyeing Tond with disdain. "He says I shouldn't leave," Emeka replied, still watching the boy. "A dream. He says something bad will happen." Amara laughed, sharp and cold. "A dream? This boy? Emeka, you're not serious. You have investors waiting, billions on the line, and you're listening to this village prophet." Tond lowered his head, but his voice didn't waver. "I'm sorry, madam, but I had to speak. If I stay quiet and something happens, I never forgive myself." Amara's eyes narrowed. "You're out of line, Tond. Get back to your duties." Emeka raised a hand. "Wait." He studied Tond, the boy's trembling hands, the raw fear in his eyes. Something stirred in his chest, a quiet, unshakable warning. He stepped back, dropped his keys on the table, and said, "I'm not going." Amara's jaw dropped. "You're joking." "I said I'm not going," Emeka repeated, his voice firm. He walked to the sitting room, sat heavily on the leather sofa, and stared at the polished floor. Amara stormed upstairs, muttering about foolishness. Tond, still kneeling, exhaled softly, wiped his face, and returned to his work. Emeka sat in silence, his heart racing. He didn't know why, but the fear in Tond's eyes felt more real than the contracts waiting in Abuja. Chief Emeka Okonkwo was a legend in Okin and beyond. His oil and gas empire, Okonkwo Energy, was a powerhouse, built from scratch with his childhood friend and partner, Chidi Nwankwo. Emeka was the brains, methodical, reserved, a man who read contracts like novels. Chidi was the charisma, loud, charming, the one who closed deals with a smile and a handshake. Together, they turned a small fuel station into a conglomerate, with stakes in refineries, pipelines, and offshore rigs. Their friendship was the stuff of village lore, celebrated at every community event. At home, Emeka's life seemed perfect. Amara, his wife, was a vision, tall, radiant, always dressed in the latest Ankara designs. Their compound, with its marble floors and imported chandeliers, was the envy of Okin. They were the couple everyone admired, always photographed together at charity galas, their smiles flawless. But behind the gates, cracks ran deep. Emeka had married Amora for love, swept away by her wit and beauty during a chance meeting at a Lagos fashion show. She'd been a model then, her laughter bright, her dreams big. But after marriage, the warmth faded. Amora loved luxury, the cars, the trips, the status. She didn't cook, didn't clean, didn't care for intimacy. She wanted freedom and resented anyone who questioned her, especially the servants. Servants came and went in the Okonkwo household. Amora fired them for the smallest infractions, too slow, too loud, too nosy. Emeka stopped arguing after the 5th dismissal. Then came Tond, a wiry boy from a nearby village, hired on a whim when the last servant quit. Tond was different, quiet, diligent, invisible. He swept the compound before dawn, polished Emeka's shoes to a mirror shine, and cooked jollof rice so perfect even Amora didn't complain. He asked for nothing, took nothing, and moved like a shadow. Emeka noticed him, not with affection, but with respect. In a house full of noise, Tond brought calm. Hours after Emeka decided to stay home, his phone rang. It was his secretary, Ngozi, her voice shaking. "Sir, there's been an accident. Your driver, Musa, took the Range Rover to Abuja as you instructed last night. A tanker lost control on the expressway. The car, it's gone, sir. Musa is in the hospital, critical. We thought you were inside." Emeka's blood ran cold. The same car. The same route. The same time he would have left. He lowered the phone, his mind replaying Tond's warning, fire, screams, blood. He sat frozen, the weight of what might have been crushing him. Amora appeared, her phone in hand, scrolling casually. "What now?" she asked, noticing his expression. "There was an accident," Emeka said quietly. "Musa took the car. A tanker hit it. The Range Rover is destroyed." Amora paused, then shrugged. "So, accidents happen. You're here, aren't you?" Emeka stared at her. No shock, no relief, just indifference. Something twisted in his gut. "Tond warned me," he said. "He saved my life." Amora's face hardened. "That boy. He's trouble. He needs to go." "He stays," Emeka said, his voice like iron. Amora glared, then turned and walked away, her heels clicking sharply. The air in the house grew heavier, and Emeka felt a new truth taking root. Something was wrong, and it wasn't just the accident. Days passed, but the tension lingered. Emeka watched Amora closely, her quick glances at her phone, her sharp tone with Tond, her sudden silences when he mentioned the accident. He began asking quiet questions, checking accounts, reviewing schedules. One evening, as Tond cleared the dinner table, he leaned close and whispered, "Sir, don't sign any papers this week. I saw it again, a dream. You signed a contract, and everything fell apart. Your company, your money, gone. Police came for you, sir. You were in chains." Emeka's fork froze midair. "Why?" he asked, his voice low. Tond glanced at the door, ensuring Amora wasn't near. "I don't know, sir, but it was clear. If you sign, you'll lose everything, maybe even your freedom." Before Emeka could press further, Amora entered, and Tond slipped away. Her presence felt like a storm cloud, but Emeka said nothing. Her words echoed in his mind, sharp and dismissive, "His trouble. He needs to go." Chidi visited the next day, his usual swagger in full display, tailored suit, booming laugh. "My brother," he greeted, pulling Emeka into a hug. "Thank God you missed the accident. That boy of yours, turned, he's a prophet, eh?" Emeka nodded, his smile tight. "He won me." Chidi laughed. "You're lucky. Anyway, the oil deal is still on. Just need your signature to seal it." "Big money, Emeka." "Big." That night, the contract arrived. Emeka sat in his study, the papers spread before him. Something felt off. The figures were skewed, prices lower than agreed, accounts unfamiliar. Tom's warning echoed, "Don't sign." Emeka locked the document away and called a trusted auditor. What they found was devastating. Chidi had been siphoning funds for years, funneling millions into shell companies. The contract was a trap designed to bankrupt Okonkwo Energy and pin the blame on Emeka. Worse, there were hints of a deeper plot, one that tied back to the accident. The tanker hadn't lost control by chance. It was deliberate. Amora's behavior grew erratic. She snapped at Tond constantly, demanding his dismissal. "He's too quiet," she said. "I don't trust him." "He stays," Emeka repeated, his voice colder each time. One night, Amora announced a trip to Lokoja to visit her sick mother. Emeka nodded, saying nothing. He hired a private investigator to follow her. The reports were damning. Amora didn't go to Lokoja. She checked into a hotel in Abuja, where Chidi joined her. They didn't leave the room for hours. Emeka confronted them at the hotel, his heart steady but heavy. He opened the door to find Amora in a robe, Chidi lounging on the bed. Their faces froze, guilt plain as day. "Explain," Emeka said, his voice calm but cutting. Amora stammered. Chidi tried to laugh it off. "It's not what you think, man. It's exactly what I think," Emeka said. "You planned the accident. You planned the contract. You planned to take everything, my company, my money, my life." Amora's eyes burned. "You were never here, Emeka. Always working, always distant. Chidi saw me. He loved me. And you loved my wealth," Emeka said. He turned and left, the door closing on a marriage built on lies. Emeka filed for divorce and bought out Chidi's shares, dismantling the empire they'd built to rebuild it alone. The house felt empty, the silence deafening. Tond continued his work, quiet as ever, but his presence was a lifeline. One evening, Tond approached Emeka. "Sir, I'm leaving tomorrow." Emeka's heart sank. "Why?" "You saved me, Tond. You don't have to go." Tond smiled faintly. "My work here is done. I was sent to protect you, not to stay." "Sent by who?" Emeka asked, but Tond only shook his head. "Live wisely, sir," Tond said. "Trust carefully. Love slowly." He walked out, leaving Emeka staring at the empty doorway. A year later, Emeka was a changed man. Okonkwo Energy thrived, free of Chidi's corruption. Emeka moved to a smaller house, simpler, filled with honest laughter. At a village fundraiser, he met Ada, a teacher with a warm smile and no interest in his wealth. Their connection was slow, real, built on trust. Somewhere in a neighboring village, Tom stepped out of a bus, his plain shirt neat, his face calm. He knocked on a door where a woman stood, tears in her eyes, her marriage crumbling under lies. "Are you the lawyer?" she asked. "No," Tom said. "I'm the manservant." Wherever he went, truth followed, and lies fell apart.